Welcome back, YouTube. Titan Fragrances here, coming at you with a quick comparison video. I think these fragrances are going to work great for this time of year. So without further ado, I'm going to get right to it. For those of y'all joining me the first time, welcome out. Hope you enjoy the content. Just an enthusiast trying to give you my take, my opinions on some different fragrances. Hopefully you can appreciate it for that much. And for those of y'all come back, I appreciate your support. So you'll see on the title, of course, PACO Rabanne is a love and hate in the community, it seems like to me, and it's almost popular to hate it on it. Are the fragrances that groundbreaking, or whatever you may call it? Maybe not in comparison to some of the stuff that's coming out, but I do think they have its place. I do enjoy the house myself. One that was very, very popular, PACO Rabanne 1 million. Has spawned tons of flankers, and definitely I think I missed the boat on that one, as I was not into fragrances when it really came out and everything. I mean, I'm way more old school in what I had, and then at that point I'd fallen out of fragrances altogether, and just recently in the past couple of years I got into fragrances again, and so I kind of wasn't in the whole big hype train or anything like that. And I think a lot of fragrances tend to fall into that category of being, victims of their own success. They come out, they become popular, and then it becomes popular loving them, but then it also becomes very popular to hate them, and then anything that spawns off of them tends to get bad rap sometimes. And I think it's not always justifiable. And I do think with these two flankers, they have their place, and I think they are better than the original, although I do enjoy the original still. But I'm gonna start out with the first one. It's the little more mature one. But I'm going to cover both these. You're going to have Lucky and Prive. Let's go with Prive first. This one, I say it's a little bit more mature. They do share the fundamental DNA of 1 million. With the mandarin or the blood orange. You're talking the cinnamon and that type of stuff. But these go in different routes. This one is going to have more of like a hookah tobacco, some myrrh resins. It's going to have some tonka bean absolute that really gives it some subtle sweetness without it being cloyingly sweet. This is definitely a little richer, a little darker, a little more mature. I think that it really has it is definitely, again, it does come off with some sweetness, so don't think that this is, if you don't like sweet fragrances at all, then this is not going to be it. But I think for the fall time, winter time, especially down here with the mild winter, I think this will work great. It lasts, it projects. Funny story on this, as I started my YouTube channel about a year ago, a co-worker of mine, his wife reached out to me during Christmas time, was asking about inputs on different fragrances and so forth, and I had kind of steered her this way, and then sure enough she ended up buying this for him, and he comes in, and I'm telling you, this thing was a beast of a performer. I was like, holy cow, this is, it smelled great, but I could smell him all over the place. He was walking down the dock, he was leaving a scent trail, so it definitely performs. Obviously that meant I couldn't wear it myself to work, because then I'm wearing the same thing he does, but definitely as a definite hit. It definitely, like I said, did the job. It performed, it projected, and it lasted all day. So no complaints in that department if you're liking fragrances that are going to be just overall great performers. And I'm not saying that I think there's a time and place for performances. I don't need everything to be 14 hours, or I think fragrances get judged too much on they got to last 10 hours or whatever. I think that's a big misconception. I like fragrances that last 4 and 5 hours sometimes, because maybe I'm going to switch into something else, or maybe the event doesn't call for it to be so loud. But this fragrance right here, for sure, it's going to project, it's going to perform, so you won't have a problem with that, and it's going to smell quite great. It dries down. It still has that initial blast, some freshness in it, but it really dries down into mature, richer scent. I do think it's probably more applicable for the evening time. Great for dates, I think. It is slightly more mature. Probably your teeny bopper may not go with some of this. If you're into those fresher fragrances, or your fragrances that lean that way, this is not going to be for you. It's got a little bit too much richness, too much depth, but it's definitely, I think, pretty good. Definitely a one to look towards if you like. The other one, now this one, I spoke about this on my channel quite a few times. This one is going to have more like some ozonic notes, some plum, some hazelnut. These are more the notes that are really going to be tickling your nostrils there. It's really going to come out. Opens up quite fresh, right? And it is sweet. This one is going to lay on the sweet side, but not, I don't think it's a gourmand level sweet. It is somewhat edible, I think, but that plum is just very rich, that would mix in with that hazelnut, giving it a little bit of nuttiness. It is playful, it is youthful. Not saying that it means it has to only for the youth. I think I definitely sport this one. As you can see, I bought it full. I've definitely put a good dent in it. This is actually probably one of my wife's favorite out of my whole collection, and I have quite a few. And every time I've worn this around other people and they've smelled it, they've said it's quite nice, and it does last. It performs, same deal. It's going to leave a great sillage. It's going to do everything that you expect the fragrance to do, and at the designer level, I think it really is a great buy if you're going to go in either direction of one of these. Just depends on which is more your need or your want. Again, I love this one. I think the plum in here is just so juicy, so sweet. It really works out and can be worn in multiple occasions. It's strong enough and can go through the colder weather and still not so rich and thick that you can't handle something like in the spring, maybe even in a cooler summer evening or something like that. You're going to be someone that people want to smell. So it's really good one for me, I think. But either one, I'm telling you, you can't go wrong. It's just going to be which one is going to be more your take. But I just wanted to knock those out real quick for you guys, give you my take. If you like the 1 million line, you're definitely going to like those. Or if you just want something different than the regular 1 million, I think that's going to be a really good ones to go to. So for you guys, please find it in your heart to go down and subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and I look forward to you on the next one. Okay, guys, have a blessed one.